My fighting style is a type of a style that I like to break my opponent down. I don't like to tip and touch, give a facial massage. More into the power, more into the type of style where you got more aggression, and at the same time you got to think about your defense. I bring a lot of different things to the game, so you just have to wait and see and judge for yourself. The amateur boxing in Australia is not at its highest level compared to what it's like in America, Cuba, Russia, Ukraine. You know, to get to the national level in a country like that, you got to have maybe 15, 20 fights. In Australia, you can win the amateur tournament by having 3, 4 fights, and you're already an Australian champion. And that means that there's not much competition. When I was fighting here in amateurs at the end of my amateur career, it was hard finding opponents. There's not enough people to fight. I felt like my style was more suited to professionals. I like to take my time more, being able to pick my opponent apart more. And just the training is much different, the whole fight is different, so I compare it as it's a different sport. And I think I really had the itch of turning professional, knowing when my fight is, having a set date, and I enjoy it much more. The life and sacrifice of a boxer is a lot. You gotta dedicate your whole life. There's early mornings, there's mornings and nights where you're sitting alone, where there's no one with you but yourself. It's a lot to do mentally as well. Once you overcome the mental barrier of yourself and being able to go and perform, to go and train, nothing can stop you. Because I got to witness my dad, I was able to see the first-hand experience of just different moods you're in. You become cranky at times. Just imagine you got people eating in front of you, you got all this nice food, and then on the back of your mind, you're always thinking about the fight. You know, you're relaxed at home, but you're still moody. You're still thinking about the fight. It's an ongoing, constant pressure to the lead up before a fight. Even just imagine people eating food, nice food, and then you're eating stuck with some broccoli, with some chicken. You know, it's the whole discipline part where whoever's around you, they suffer as well. You know, because because my dad had to do it, we had to do it as well with him. The whole diet part, the whole getting up in the morning at 5:15. I remember 5:15 was our wake-up call where we got up and we had to start training. And yeah, it's just everything's about discipline, about getting into routine. And not many people can see it. Not many people have witnessed it and experienced that type of life. Because I was able to live through it my whole life, it's much easier for me right now, because I'm so used to it. I went to Russia. I spent 2 weeks training with Dad. We learn a lot of new things, just little things that we haven't been paying attention to in Australia. He is the best mentor you can have. There's not many people can get such expertise. So it was good going there, fixing up little things, fixing up the way my style is, and perfecting my craft again. There's many influences for me. Back in the days when my dad was fighting, I was always a big boxing fan, but I always considered my dad as like the number one, where he was always the top of the mountain for me. But there were boxers such as, I loved Roy Jones. You know, back in the days, I remember watching him. I remember always supporting him, and I remember the first time he came down to my gym down in Rockdale now, and it was just amazing to see. And I remember him saying my name. Oh, that's Mini Tszyu, Tim, you little Mini Tszyu. And I was like, oh wow, the guy actually remembers me. Another one, Mike Tyson. I loved his style, and I remember meeting him at the Hall of Fame boxing in New York. So that was great. But right now, there's a lot of influences. The big one's AJ, Anthony Joshua. I like the way he carries himself inside the ring and outside the ring, the way he acts, and how he's a people's champion. People love him. And same as Triple G, you know. They don't talk with their mouth, they talk with their hands, with their arms. They go in there, they put on a show, and it's all business. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of respect. I'd really love to fight Chavez Junior. And I said it from day one. I've told my team straight away from day one when I start professional, that's the fight I'd love to have. Because I remember Chavez Junior, him saying in an interview that the reason he started fighting was when my dad beat Chavez Senior. So it'd be great to have that Chavez Junior versus Tszyu part 2. You know, it'd be great to do it, and I think there would be a lot of interest as well. When you compete in this sport, you got to have your full focus, and you got to be like an athlete. It's not just training like an athlete, but living a life like an athlete. Chavez Junior, I don't believe he is an athlete. I believe he's a boxer, but I don't think he's an athlete. There are differences. The way you discipline yourself, the way you let yourself go. Again, it's not like a 2-month training camp, but it shouldn't be a 2-month training camp. It should be it's a lifestyle. You always have to be fit. You got to be ready for anything. I've got a lot of goals. I've got short-term goals, long-term goals. But my 2018 goals would be to capture the Australian title, to be #1 in the country. Then we can look on to regional titles, and who knows, get as many fights as I can, travel overseas, be able to please the public, and be able to gain a lot of interest back into Australian boxing. I believe I do have talent, and I do have the work ethic. So when you combine talent and work ethic and your sacrifice for your dream, I think the sky is the limit. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. What makes Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao and Roy Jones different to me? We're both born with 2 arms, with 10 fingers, with 1 head, with 1 brain. So we can compare each other, but everyone's human at the end of the day, and anyone can achieve whatever they put their mind to.